Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday.
So I've been involved in kind of a little movement in our community, and it hasn't really been made public yet, but it's in response to a bill that is trying to get passed in California to start school later. And the schools in our district start at 7:30 a.m. and they get out at 2:30. But studies, and I'm sure you've seen this online and in articles over the years, studies show that kids, especially teens, need more sleep and need to be able to get up later so that they can function and, be able to get on with their day and learn. And there's all sorts of statistics about car accidents and academic success when kids are not getting sleep.
And it's really about, it's not just they should go to bed earlier. They physiologically can't get the sleep they need earlier in the night. Isn't that right?
That's correct. It's their sleep pattern, right? Their rhythm, their own rhythm. So so we'll see what happens with that. And I know with my daughter, there's, at least a couple times a month, she can't get up for a 7:30 class. She's just physically wiped out, even though she's gone to bed at a fairly regular time the night before, but it's just accumulation of that early start time that she just, we have a day where she just sleeps in and misses first period and then she goes to school. Bad mom I am. But, that kind of is prompting this discussion here about what kind of sleep do your kids get? What's their sleep situation in your house, and how has it changed over the years? My kids have never been good sleepers, I guess, is my experience. And it's even worse now that they're teens, or my son is a young adult going to early morning classes. But yeah, they just have never been solid sleep-in kind of kids. So they struggle to get enough sleep. Yeah. Terry, how about you? What are your kids doing in your house?
When they were kids, my daughter was always just a really, really good sleeper. She would fall asleep early in the evening and she would get up really early in the morning, so school was never a problem. She would sometimes wake us up or wake her brother up and be in charge of morning stuff. She was always really good with it. And my son would not necessarily sleep through the night when he was little, but he would just hang out in his bed and not mind it. So we would just never, when the doctor would ask how much sleep does he get, I'm like, well, he's in his room for this amount of time. He's in bed for this amount of time. Whether he's sleeping or not, I really don't know. So it wasn't a problem when they're little, and now that they're adults, again, my daughter's still goes to sleep. Both of them still go to sleep pretty early for young adults. And it's actually pretty much the same. My daughter doesn't get up as early as she used to. I guess she's starting to become an adult and realize that we don't like to do that. We like to sleep. But my son will sleep late if you let him. But again, I don't know if he's really sleeping in there or if he's just, listening to things on his iPod or what. But it's not a huge issue in our house, I would say. Except for the adults, for which it is a huge issue. For the parents, for which it is a huge issue.
Getting enough.
I'm certainly not getting enough sleep.
Right.
And I certainly don't sleep through the night. But kid-wise, we're good.
And what about you, Catherine? How's sleep in your house?
I would say it's okay. It's challenging to get the kids to bed early enough for them to get a sufficient amount of sleep. The other day, my teenager fell asleep in her room. She was sitting on her bed, doing homework or whatever. She fell asleep and slept for 2 hours. She slept from 7 to 9 p.m. And I went into her room at 9 p.m. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, oh, I was sleeping. And she still had homework to do. And I'm like, well, you'll get to do it now because you're not going to be falling asleep for a while. So it's hard. I mean, we don't start as early as 7:30, and my kids are both pretty good about getting ready quickly in the morning, so they don't have to allow. I mean, some of my daughter's friends are, spending hours doing their hair and makeup and showering and all that stuff before school, and she doesn't. She's like, no, I want to sleep. So, and she's always needed more sleep, honestly, than my younger one. And just the other day, she was saying, I had so many more rules than him. Like, I had to go to bed earlier and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, but you just didn't, you needed it more than he did. So it wasn't, that I'm trying to change the rules on you now that he's the age that you were then. It's really, just that since they were little, even though they're 3 years apart, they generally went to bed at the same time because she still needed to be going to bed earlier at around the time that he did. So, yeah, I don't know. And my son, when he wakes up in the morning, if he wakes up on his own, then... and he usually does, then he's cheerful. But if you have to wake him up, whoa, that is not
Forget
fun.
My daughter, for quite a long time, has just put herself to bed. She gets sleepy really early. And she'll just, we'll decide it's time for my son to go to bed, and we'll go to say prayers, and she's already in bed asleep.
Right.
So we wake her up to say prayers all together. We're so bad. But that's been nice,
Yeah,
she knows what her sleep patterns are, and she respects them. And every kid is different, as we know, adults are different too.
But that's nice that she recognizes it and that she acts on it. Whereas, with my kid, she'll be like, I'm so tired. And I do this myself, when you're like so tired that you can't get up to brush your teeth and actually get into bed, she gets herself in that situation for sure.
Which is why so often my husband and I sleep on the couch. But
I'll just fall asleep here instead of going to the trouble of removing myself to the bed.
That's right. And then you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, should I just sleep the rest of the night here, or shall I get up now in the middle of the night? If you do get up in the middle of the night, then you can't get back to sleep.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then you feel like, what kind of loser am I sleeping on the couch all night?
Well, and how much good sleep did I really get?
Yes. And what did I do to my bed? My husband sleeps like sitting up with his feet up on the table. That's how he wants to sleep. And it's like, that cannot be good for your back.
Right.
What about falling asleep? Do you have any problems falling asleep, and have you found any kind of strategies for that? Because I know that if I'm really wired or stressed or something's going on, I have a heck of a time falling asleep. And I just haven't found anything that can help me settle down. And so it takes hours sometimes. I'm lying there looking at the ceiling.
I have a patch of time between 9 and 10 in which I can easily fall asleep where I'm sitting just in a second. If I don't fight it, I fall asleep right where I am. If I can keep awake through that time, I could stay up all night. But then when I do go to bed, yes, my brain is firing, and every decision I've made that day, week, and month, and entire life is up for review.
Exactly.
And every possible terrible thing that can happen is up for review. And it's just where is the off switch? It's so awful. And I'm laying there thinking, this is so stupid. Yeah. None of this needs to be thought about now. Why?
I seriously was looking at getting myself one of those weighted blankets. I'm getting that desperate.
Yeah.
I'm I've got to find a way to turn my brain off so I can just relax and fall asleep and get a decent sleep.
If you find out a way, tell me, because man.
Catherine, do you struggle with falling asleep?
I don't. I think because I am tired enough that I just, how they say that it's a sign you're not getting enough sleep if you fall asleep 1 second after your head hits the pillow. Yeah. So, not to say that you're not tired, Nicole, but I just, so far, knock on wood, I haven't had too much trouble because I'm so ready when I get in bed. I did get an email about an app. I think it's called Calming Lia. I'll have to check and put it in. And it's like a game that you're meant to play right before bed.
Oh.
And it's supposed to help you fall asleep.
Okay.
So maybe we could check that out and see if it would help.
I'm going to check it out. Because I played Bejeweled Blitz. I'm sure that doesn't help.
And you shouldn't be.
I know.
Using screens before you go to sleep.
I know.
Oh, well, I'm pretty much out of luck there.
Well, that's one of the big problems I have with my son, getting him to bed in time and getting him off his screens so that it doesn't interfere with him falling asleep. That's tough.
Yeah, and my daughter too.
And when he was a baby, I mean, both of mine, when they were little, were crummy sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember, my son was the one where you had to, put your hand on his back or his stomach or whatever until he fell asleep. And I'd be in his room thinking, if only I had some kind of, fake hand that I could just gently swap it out.
Yeah.
like you're in the Indiana Jones with your bag of sand.
No, I'm the mom that literally, laid down beside them until they fell asleep, or at least I thought they were asleep. And then I would silently be a ninja and roll off the bed and roll across the floor. Or crawl out the door so I didn't make any loud sounds.
Have you seen the video? There's a viral video of a mom that captured by the nanny cam or whatever video monitor, and
that was me
sneaking out. It's very funny.
Yeah, that was me. And then you'd hear them kind of rustle in the sheets, and you'd freeze and not breathe. Yeah, had very good. And
when you have
skills.
An old house like I do, and the doorknobs make noise, and the floor creaks, and it's risky.
Yeah, very risky business. Yep.